Welcome back. Statistics South Africa says most households have experienced an increase in crime over the past year. There's also been an increase in individual crime in the year 2021-2022. That's compared to the period 2020-2021. But Stats SA says the theft of motor vehicles, that's cars, has in fact gone down. Let's talk about this with Kelvin Rafadi, forensic investigator at Biz Traces. Kelvin, I wonder, very good afternoon. Firstly, welcome to Daytime Update. Do the numbers, the figures presented by Stats SA mirror what you are seeing in your line of work?
And thanks for welcoming me, Tembekile. What we are experiencing in a line of work, the due diligence that we already have done, indeed is very worrying on the number of the houses that get broken into, and it's a common crime that happens around. But we must also bear in mind some of the reported stats that are collected. We mustn't divorce it from the crime that is committed by other, I would say, other customers of the insurance companies, because they tend to also be hammering or fraudulently defrauding insurance companies in this particular space, where now some they will claim for goods that they are stolen from the house and report the case to the police. So that we must also bear in mind in this regard.
So more burglaries, house robberies have been reported, but am I right to say, based on what you're saying, that what we're seeing is perhaps a change in the reason why they are happening?
We could say that, but also the criminals have their ways of modus operandi on transferring skill to other particular individuals, whereby now they will find it as an easy crime to commit. And because of the schedule of the offense, you know, if one gets a housebreaking offense and gets arrested, they come out easily, or they will just be serving a sentence of at least a year to 2 years. Unlike where now you're talking about the robberies where there's Schedule 6 and all those things. So most criminals tend to do a grab and go in the house robberies, in the house breakings, than any other crimes that are committed elsewhere.
And you have to wonder, though, we talk a lot about crime in South Africa in general terms, how you must be safe at the mall, safe at the office. But if hundreds of thousands of people are attacked in their homes over this period of a year, where are people supposed to feel safe?
Well, I guess they must feel safe at their homes, and their belongings must be kept safe. So the only measures that we can perhaps try and make is to make them aware on what measures to take in the space, on how to keep themselves safe in their spaces of homes and even in businesses.
Because according to Stats SA, it's in fact more than 2 million households that experienced housebreakings in a 5-year period. That's alarming. What needs to happen from a policing and security point of view to get a handle on this situation?
Yeah, I think from the community point of view, we must congratulate the communities where they've got their community police forum. They're quite active, and they are doing a lot to minimize the crimes in their area. But where spaces where now bakkies patrolling, police patrolling around, or even for one can say we need to just make awareness of certain types of modus operandis, to expose the modus operandis of these criminals. Because of, let's say now, Tembekile, you go and buy a big screen, a TV, 100 and whatever centimeter, but you take that particular box after you install your TV, you put it at your gate. You are calling for your house to be broken into. And this particular criminals, there's a phrase that they use in the house breaking. They call it kodim J, meaning at the dogs. Now, in most researches, it has shown that to combat this particular crime, you must be a dog owner, at least at some point. Now, with the dogs, what they do, these people, the minute they come to your gate, they can actually take eye contact with your dog. So if the dog barks at them, and it turns around and backs towards the house, then they can actually tell that the owner of the house is actually in the house. As citizens, to take measures that, you know what, let me barricade, let nobody take eye contact with my dog. More especially, the minute they can see that there's nobody in the house, they'll pepper spray the eyes of the dogs or give it a poison, then they can gain entry into the house. So those type of measures, I think one needs to put it out there so that the communities can be aware of such.
And housebreakings, the number of households who say they experienced housebreakings, that figure went out 21.5% in the period 2021-2022, right? But the problem with that sort of crime, am I right to say, is that it's often premeditated. So these would be people who've watched the homeowners for a period of time before they ultimately strike. Calvin, can you hear me?
Yes, indeed, they do that. They do that. They watch the owner. They watch the owner's movements. And like I say, one needs to always come out and then put measures to say, you know, as a homeowner, what measures should you take to keep your house safe? If you can afford CCTV cameras and record them on iCloud, I mean, then they tend not to break into your house. And if you've got good gates, mount them so that nobody can leave the gates up. And, you know, in this particular crime that we're talking of, there's also a trend whereby some of the spotters, they can actually walk around at night, and if you've got windows open, even in your bathroom window, what they tend to do, there's an essence that they burn on those windows so that they can make everybody sleep in the house. And then once everybody sleeps in the house, they can come in. And on their free time, they can load even everything and clean your house. So, you know, measures like when you sleep, do not open your windows. Make sure your house is sealed even there by the bottom of your doors. Seal the place there so that this particular people, they don't take advantage of even coming and breaking into your house.
People who live in urban areas or in the suburbs are now, in fact, moving away from shopping, at least anecdotally, what I'm hearing around me. People are saying they're less interested in standalone housing. They want to live in an estate or in a complex because there's a sense that there's better security there. Is that necessarily true?
Yes, most people, I mean, those who can afford, I mean, with the economy that we're living in, those who can afford, they tend to move into secure estates. I mean, it's very secured. You get the best CCTV cameras there, you get the best security patrols and clocking point system whereby even at your house or the gate of your house, every 1 hour, there's someone who comes and monitors at your house. But for some of us who lives in freestanding or even in township, we are also targeted. So I think one needs just to put up measures on how to combat this and minimize this crime.
Calvin Rafadi, thank you so much for your time today, sir.